Hey guys, it's Danny Amorim from GIBS Grooming, and I'm here today to teach you guys how to do a proper beard grooming service. When it comes to beard grooming, it's a very sensitive subject. A lot of bearded gents, when you ask them for a beard trim, they're a little iffy about getting a trim. So I'd like you to advise them to get a beard sculpt so it's less aggressive, less hair coming off, and we can figure out exactly the height, the depth, the width, and exactly the desired look that the bearded gent is looking for. Today, we have my guy Jason Skills in the chair. He's got an awesome gray silver beard, as you see. Gray is great. And we're gonna try to figure out exactly how he wants his beard, how high he wants it, how low he wants it, and how full he's looking. What are you looking to do today, Skills?
It's been a little while since I've had it trimmed. I don't have a very strong facial feature. I don't have a strong jawline, so I kind of use my beard to kind of sculpt my face. So I just want to make my face look a little longer, kind of rounded here. My cheeks are kind of weak up top, so you got to go a little lower because I want that kind of sharp looking. And I don't like my mustache too short, just along the lip, and don't even really touch the top of it.
Got it.
Yeah.
And as you see, clearly it's only a beard, but it's a little technical because when it comes to beard grooming, they want it very specific. And as you see, he told you exactly what he was looking to do. So when you see the client, you want to face him towards the mirror and you're looking at his bone structure of his face. As we all see, Jason has more of a boxier look, and I don't see him wearing a round full beard. I can see it being more boxy. Now, a lot of bearded guys tend to grow it long here, short here, and longer here. Can we all see how this is puffing out? So this is going to be the desired area that we're going to groom and we're going to sculpt. Instead of having to trim it where he thinks you're going to cut it short, we're going to sculpt it, meaning we're going to shape it. So Skills here doesn't want it too low. So we're going to go off the natural hairline. He has a few stubbles here. So we're going to try to bring it to that desired light spot there. As you can see, there's one hair there. So I'm going to try to move above it, trim that, and we can go back and look. If he wants it lower, then we have that option. If you start too low, you can't put it back. Guys, I'm trying to tell you, when it comes to this top line, it's a very sensitive subject for bearded gents. People don't want their hairlines pushed back ever, correct? They don't want their hairlines pushed up, correct? I don't want my beard line pushed down. If you take my top line down, it's going to take months for this to grow back. Mess my hair up, I'll be back. Mess my beard up, you'll never see me again, all right? So let's rock and roll and try to figure out exactly how we're gonna groom this beard. I'm gonna show you and give you a tutorial on shaping, grooming, sculpting, and then getting to the GIBS experience using the quality products that he's going to need. So now when it comes to grooming the bearded gents, we wanna be able to give them the desired look they're looking for, whether they're going high or low. Big beards come from depth, not height. So when a client wants a full beard, you wanna try to leave it as low as possible. Everyone grows it differently, especially different ethnicities. We grow it a little fuller, a little higher, a little lower. Certain guys don't even want to shape the bottom. Even better, less maintenance for you, less maintenance for him. Nice and full, and he has that depth that he's looking for. If you cut my beard at the jawline, it's going to hang over. As you see here, Skills has it where he brings it a tad bit above his Adam's apple. But now this area is hanging over. This is the area that we want to be able to sculpt. We're going to get into using a shear, and we're also going to get into using our mechanical shears, trying to figure out what is more comfortable for us to giving them that great shape so they can get a great look. So now when it comes to the consultation of knowing that you're not just their barber, you're also their educator. Men have no idea what to use. So now when it comes to the consultation, not only are we going to give them a great beard trim and a great beard sculpt, now we have to talk about beard maintenance. You want to ask the client, what's he cleansing his beard with? I guarantee you 9 out of 10, the client is going to say he's probably using soap or something absurd that is very bad for his skin, that's full of parabens and full of sulfates. I'm going to recommend to my client, he's going to start using conditioner regularly. Don't ask, you tell. Because when you tell the client they need something, they're going to want it no matter what it is or what it costs. And personally, I use biofuel every single morning because I work out every morning, my beard is wet from sweating, I jump in the sauna, and I don't want to jump in the shower and not cleanse my beard out. So I can grab about a half a pump, full pump of some biofuel, apply it into my beard. But one thing I try to tell my clients, make sure you're applying it into your skin, into your beard, letting it sit there. Then you can shower for a bit, take your 3-5 minutes, 10 however long you take, and then you can let it come out. Let it activate, let it work. I guarantee you within a few days, you'll feel the texture differently. It won't be so dry, it won't be so brittle. Their skin's gonna feel a lot healthier, and now they can apply a different grooming product right after that. So the base product that any bearded client needs is a conditioner. Now that conditioner can be used in the crown as well. So Skills has hair on his face and he has hair on his crown. He can use that one product on both. I personally can use it on the top, but it's not really gonna do much. So I live through my face and I like to use it on my beard normally. So this is a product that can be used on a daily basis. So it's a product they're gonna need a lot more often. So now when it comes into the beard sculpting, where do you start? Personally, I start from the bottom because that's the part that's the most important to keep it nice and full. So when you shape a hairline, where do you begin? Center. When you're doing a nape, where do you begin? The center. So when I'm gonna do the bottom of a beard, I wanna begin from the center and then work my way over so I have it where it's sharp and straight. Last thing you wanna do is start from one corner and you're coming across and you lose a position, you're coming up on an angle and it's like he's got a crooked hairline, but the line underneath the beard is crooked. No one wants that, all right? So we're gonna grab our trimmer and begin. Here I'm gonna grab my trimmer, lift him up, and as you see, this is the initial line of demarcation we're gonna begin. So I'm gonna take my trimmer and create a small guide. Now that guide is gonna allow me to come directly across. So I'm gonna go from east to west. And then eliminate this hair underneath. Everyone see that? Nice and clean. Don't touch any of this yet. This is gonna be the hair that we're going to sculpt later using our mechanical shears. Right now, we're only concentrating on that line of demarcation underneath his beard. Now I'm coming over to this side. I'm gonna go the same motion, but now I'm going from west to east. So now that I created my initial line of demarcation, I use my trimmer to get all that hair off, but you want to get it a little smoother, right? So directly after, you can grab your shaver, grab your foil, and you can now bring it down a little lower and give a nice baby bottom smooth. But before we do that, I'm going to concentrate on the top of the beard. A lot of people tend to do this. That's a big no-no for me. Why? It's control, stability. The last thing you need to do is slip and go down a little too far. And once I mention, there goes that long hair again. So personally, what I like to do is I turn my client over, I figure out exactly where I want to create that line of demarcation. The blade is straight on a trimmer. So all you have to do, and I'm also applying my finger for my stability, so I have control. Client does not want to see this in the mirror, okay guys? So here, start here, we're gonna go from south to north. South to north, south to north. See that? Now we can control every single hair follicle that we're looking to trim. Now also, as you see, once I'm grooming him, I'm using my finger for stability, but I'm sorry, I have to grab his head for stability. I'm not saying Hulk grip it, because I'm a pretty strong guy, and I make sure not to do that. You want this to be a comfortable experience. You don't want to be too aggressive. But it's just the way it works. For you to be efficient when it comes to this grooming, you need stability. So you want to be able to stand a certain way, find your position. You also want to be able to hold your canvas. So you have control of his face not moving as well when you're using the stability with your finger, your trimmer, because he wants a full beard, right? So he has to cooperate with you. He has to work with you. But you're also the stylist and the barber. Take control of the service. You're the professional. They're the client. So now on the left side, you're going to build your stability, grab your trimmer, and we're going to do the same thing. Create your line of demarcation. Start from south, moving north. Starting south, moving north, starting south, moving north. Even here in the sideburn area, you want to be able to build that connection. All I'm doing is getting those slight flyaways that are hanging over. I don't want to curve it in too much, because the more you curve in, the more you bring it down, the more bathroom barbers we're creating. What do I mean by that? The more maintenance you give them, the more they feel as if they have to go back home and maintain it within a weekly basis. And then his beard starts here, and then it goes down to here, and then it ends here. And when he comes back to you, the poor guy's got a chin strap. So for us to leave our clients with a nice full beard with less maintenance for them, I advise you trying to leave it as high as possible, as low as possible, even when it comes to the mustache. Mustache grooming is very important. Where do you start? The bottom. Just like the beard, I started from the bottom, I didn't start from the top. The mustache is the same exact way. Why? A lot of men tend to have a full mustache, and at times it hangs over the lip. Here we can't even see Skill's top lip. So the last thing I want to do is grab my trimmer and go from north to south and possibly bring it down too low or lose control. If you lose control, 3 things a bearded client doesn't want to hear. Oops, oh man, or oh sh. These are scenarios that we don't want to run into, guys. As we all know, stylists and barbers, sometimes we make mistakes. We do not want to make a mistake with a beard. Haircuts, hey, you make a little line, he'll come back. Mess his beard up, you'll never see the poor guy again, all right? So going back to the mustache, I don't want you going from north to south. If you need to, you're going from south to north, but you're gonna do the bottom of the mustache first. Because if I do the top and then I do the bottom, you might end up giving him a spaghetti mustache that he doesn't want. So to give him the nice full mustache, we're gonna work from the bottom, moving our way over, and just giving it a tad trim. We're not going too high. Now when trimming the bottom of the mustache, I don't want to go too high either. A lot of clients don't really want to see the top of their lip or bringing it too high. I gave Jason a nice natural trim on the bottom of the mustache, and on the top, he wears it fully natural. If you need to get small flyaways, feel free to do so. But at times, we tend to do more work than we need to. He doesn't even want to shape the top. It's less work. It's less time for you. And it's actually the look that they really, really want, guys. Because the more you bring the mustache down, it's just like bringing that beard down. He has to try to maintain it. And he can't do it with the Bic in the bathroom. He doesn't have a trimmer like you have. And he doesn't have the expertise or the stability. So he's going to ruin that great beard you just did. So this is my moving billboard. I want my customers to look every day, not just the day they leave your chair. All right, guys? So this is the consultation and the education that is needed during the service. You can have this conversation during the service. It doesn't have to be after. It doesn't have to take more time. It actually builds a relationship and the confidence with your customer because now you're friendly, you're educational, you're informative, and you're giving them the service that they really want, not the one they thought they wanted. So now we've given them a great top natural line. We've given them a line of demarcation under the beard, and we've worked on the mustache. But now, we see all of this back here? I don't like it. All of this is excess hair. It's like him in the nape, needing a shape, needing a trim. I want to do the same thing back here. So I actually grabbed a sharper trimmer with a sharper blade. I don't want to grab a sharp trimmer with a sharp blade here because it's a very sensitive subject for a lot of clients, even myself. I tend to use the sharp blade to create the line of demarcation, and then I'll use one that's not zero gap to be able to eliminate some of that hair. You don't want your client to leave with razor burn. You don't want them to leave with irritation. And the last thing you want him is leaving bright red. You want the service to be comfortable. So knowing the blade type that's on your trimmer is going to be very important as well. So initially I use a softer trimmer. This one is going to be a lot sharper. It's a little more aggressive, but I need it to be a little more aggressive because I just want to create a nice clean back line. Now with the back lines, please don't come in too far. As you see, Jason's back line is naturally square, so I'm going to leave it naturally square. We tend to cut the corners. If you cut this entire corner, now this is excess hair that's going to grow back every few days, and he's going to feel the process of trying to maintain it, and he can't. If you're right-handed, you might be able to get one side and you can't get the other. So whenever I have clients that have a natural square back line, I recommend leaving it. I just make it a lot cleaner. So I'm going to take a little bit of that excess hair and pull it back. Don't pull too much of it. I like to push it back, but don't push it back too far because the last thing you want is you take off too much and you have an uneven back line. So we're going to leave a natural comb back, turn my trimmer on. So as you see here, I'm going to put my hand on the top of my customer to have stability. I'm not gripping my customer. I'm just adding this for stability so I can hold it. Now grabbing my trimmer very softly. See that? Now we're gonna follow this guide all the way up. Corner. And just start chipping away at this little excess, coming up and around the ear. See how much cleaner that is? Now Jason has a nice full beard, natural line here and natural back line with all that extra in the back. Was it a lot? No, but it was just enough. And that's the thing we need to understand. Sometimes we tend to do too much. It's like adding 7 minutes to a haircut. You ever do that before? It stinks, doesn't it? So we don't want to do that to a beard service as well. We want to be efficient when it comes to the beard trimming and actually leaving it natural and full other than overdoing it. That only took me a few seconds, guys, so it shouldn't take you that long either. Now what I tend to do, since I'm already working my way around the beard, I came up and around the ear. I'm going to do the same thing here in the nape. So if you're accustomed to creating that line there in the nape, it's the same exact thing in the back of the beard. You're building that connection. So here I'm going to use the corner of my T-blade, coming up and around, and all I'm going to do is meet that area that we created at the beginning. See how much cleaner this looks now? We didn't do a lot, we did just enough, but it looks a lot cleaner than we did. You know why? Look what it used to look like. This. And there's nothing wrong with it. He's a handsome guy here. But this is what I mean. It's small maintenance. All we did was trim a little bit of the back end, a little bit of the nape, and look how much cleaner that looks. Is it pushed back? No. Did it take too long? No. Does it look good? Yes. So we have to make this side match. So everyone's hair grows differently. As you see, the growth pattern here is different than the right side. Everyone's growth pattern is not the same, so we have to learn how to work with different growth patterns and different textures of these beards. So knowing this is going to be extremely important. So as you see, I can push this back, but it's not coming back as much as the right side did. He has a little bit of a cowlick here. It's giving you that spin. So you have to work around that. We're going to comb that back a little bit, creating our small line of demarcation at the bottom of the beard. And as I mentioned, I'm not being too aggressive. I'm just tapping it because what we're doing is we're trimming hair, not shaping it. We did the shaping already with the other trimmer. Here, we're pretty much using our mechanical shears to clean all that up. Going into the nape. As you see, just create guides for yourselves. This is your guide you begin with. And if you need both hands for stability, you have to figure out what works for you. So here, all I'm doing is making the left side match the right side. And I like being efficient doing this instead of grooming the beard, finishing the beard, and then you have to grab your trimmer again to clean the nape. You already have your trimmer in the hand. You're already in motion. You want it all to match. So I got it all out of the way at the same time. Then we can figure out if we're going to shape the nape or if we're going to taper the nape, but that's a different service. Here we're concentrating on beards, and as I concentrated on the beard, I just wanted to clean everything around his ear to make it a little better visual for myself. So now before we get into the sculpting, initially we trimmed the bottom of the beard with the trimmer, but there's still a little bit of a stubble there. So what I tend to do is I grab my foil shaver and eliminate any of that excess because it does two things. It makes that line of demarcation a lot sharper because you're going directly to it and it won't trim the long hair. And it's also getting this baby bottom smooth so that line will last a lot longer. He can feel the stubble, it doesn't feel fresh. When he walks out and it's nice and smooth, it's a completely different feeling. Now even on the top of the beard, if you want to get some of that excess there, I'd say put your finger over the area so you don't trim that beard. And we're just going to go from south to north. Tapping at it. We don't have to use the whole foil. We're only using the corner. See how much sharper and smoother that is? How does that look? Not bad, right? All right, so let's have some fun. We're gonna get into some beard sculpting. So when it comes to beard sculpting, it's like using a shear. Can you use a shear? Absolutely. If your comfort level with a shear to do this is easier and more comfort, you can do so. Me personally, I've been using clippers for a little over 26 years. I truly love my clippers, and I look at my clippers as mechanical shears. But knowing the blade type on your mechanical shears is going to be very, very, very important. This is why. So now when it comes to beard sculpting, blade type is very, very, very important. I have here 3 Andis Master. Beautiful clippers, identical clippers, different colors, different housings, same motor, different blades. Whenever you purchase a regular clipper, it comes with a standard blade. This is your 000. Now here we have new innovation with a phase blade, not a fade blade, phase, P-H-A-Z-E. This is a 40, so it's a little more aggressive than the 000, but it's not as aggressive as the 50. This 50 is the fade blade. I feel as any barber, any stylist should always have at least one clipper at their station with a fade blade. Why? If you're doing bald fades and you're having trouble getting that line out, this will get it. Because that 000, if you have your lever all the way up, there's still a minimal gap there. That minimal gap will not get that hard line out because you create it possibly with the shaver or you use the trimmer to create your line of demarcation, so it'll never get that thing out. This will get that hard line out, but it'll also help you with the sculpting because it's shaping perfectly and accurately. It's like shaping an afro, guys. An afro, when you shape it, it's supposed to be round, not kind of round. Flat tops, they're supposed to be flat, not kind of flat. So when it comes to beard sculpting, if we're shaping it round or flat, we still want something aggressive and sharp, so we're giving one pass and we're efficient. No one wants to use a dull shear to do this, right? So I don't want to use a dull clipper or a dull trimmer or a dull blade. So now when it comes to the sculpt, you want to make sure that your customer is facing the mirror. You also want to make sure that your lever is all the way up, so your blade is close and sharp as a shear. Now I want to stand in front of him. If you feel free, do this for stability. I do it, it works for me. Put one hand on the other and go directly towards your client. Because if you're coming at him like this, you might be a little worried. So now, hand on hand, you don't have to go fast. This is where we take control, take your time, be a little more patient. Everyone see that? I just took off enough. When it comes to bigger beards, the customer does not want it short. They don't want it trimmed. That's why half the time when you ask a customer if they want to trim their beard, they're going to say no. Why? Because mentally they think you're going to cut. So we're only sculpting, guys. Grabbing your clipper, going directly at it. See how much cleaner that looks? So now we got to figure out what we're doing with the sides. Just like a hairline, just like a nape, just like the bottom, we're going to start from the center and work our way over, guys. This overhang that I mentioned, don't do the clipper over comb, because if you do that, when you let go, you might take off too much. Now he's got a hole or a patch here. This is how his hair naturally lays. He doesn't walk around with a comb in his beard, so it's never fully extended that way. So you always have to remember not redirecting or over-directing too much, because then you're going to trim too much. Trimming this down, you see this little area here? That's the only area we're going to concentrate on. Grabbing my clipper. And as I mentioned, we're gonna keep his beard boxed. We're not cutting corners, we're not making it round. So I began from the center and I worked my way up. Everyone see how much cleaner that is? The overhang is no longer there. So now as you see, I began from the center, I worked my way over, and now it's nice and sharp. We wanted a box beard, we're sticking with the box beard. This here, we will sculpt later. Right now, we're only concentrating on the base and the bottom line. Now, if you feel more comfortable standing on this side, spin the chair, and you can concentrate on this side, but remember, your mirror is behind him now. So if you need the mirror for a visual, you might want to come to the other side of the chair so you can both see it together. As I mentioned, you see all this overhang here? All I'm really doing is going back and matching that center. And don't be overly aggressive. It's okay to take your time, guys, because we're fine tuning this. You want to make sure you don't take off too much. Because you see, there's quite a bit coming off. And he's looking at the mirror, so he's watching it come down just like you are. So don't take too much. Worst that he can say, take off a little more. Okay, fine. If you take off too much, you can't put it back. Now what I ask my client to do is bring their head up a tad bit so I can double check the bottom. And as you see, there's a few little flyaways there. So now I can either go directly at it, or what I like to do, I freehand it at times with my right hand. And just come directly across. I personally like freehanding with a single hand. I've built the stability and the comfort over the years that I can do that. But as I mentioned, when doing it at the beginning, it can be a little nerve-wracking. It can give you a little bit of anxiety. So by knowing you can use both hands for stability, it's going to make your life that much easier and that stress level that much lower. All right, now bottom line is sharp. The back is sharp, but all these little prickly flyaways, we need them gone. So instead of coming across, you can either stand behind the client or with the mirror there, stand in front of the client. Personally, I like standing in front of the client. So I'm going to work my way around the chair, keep him face towards the mirror. I'm now gonna go from north to south. So this little bit excess here, you guys are gonna watch it come off. And as you see here, I didn't take a lot off. I took just enough. And while using the fade blade, you will literally hear the crunch of the hair coming off. So you're going to see it come down, you're going to see it come off, and you're going to hear it. So when it comes to color contrast, we're familiar with black combs, white hair, white combs, black hair, right? Do we need to? No. Does it make our life easier? Yes. So, was I able to sculpt the beard with the black cape? Absolutely. I can do it visually, I know. But if I want to make my life just a little easier, we have these lovely white towels that everyone likes to use. All you got to do is wrap it around the customer. And now our visual is much better. We can literally see every single hair come off of the customer's beard. So getting back into the sculpting, I'm going to grab my left hand because I happen to be ambidextrous when it comes to clipper cutting. I can't throw a baseball with my left hand, but I can sure do some beard grooming with one. Now I'm going to go from north to south. And as I mentioned, all I'm doing is trimming those light flyaways that you're seeing come off the beard. Now the mirror is in front of you. If you feel more comfortable standing behind the customer, you can do so and get a different visual of the beard. So from here, I can see those little flyaways that I couldn't see from standing in front of him. So from standing here, I can go from north to south and just get any little stagnant hair that's sticking straight out. Now how does that look? Not so bad, right? So now that we've done all the beard trimming, the beard grooming, beard sculpting, we're getting back into the beard education on product knowledge. Initially, we started with the biofuel for the conditioner. Now that it's nice and sculpted and groomed, I want to be able to keep it hydrated. And hydration is extremely important, just like drinking water on a daily. Your skin needs hydration. You tend to put lotion on your skin, right, to keep your skin hydrated. Our beard has skin under it, fortunately. So we want to keep that skin hydrated and keep our beard hydrated. So I'm going to use one of our favorite products, and it smells outstanding if you haven't tried this yet. It's our Con Man hair pudding. And when you mention to the client that you have a hair pudding for them, even the verbiage, they're like, what is that? And it's another conversation piece. You can talk to the customer and let them know, listen, this is a hair pudding. You can use it in your crown for a hair hydrator. You can use it in your beard as a hair hydrator. I have a lot of my clients that wear man buns. I taught them that they have to keep that bun hydrated even though that it's tied up, so they tend to use the Con Man. So it's also the no product that the entire household can use. If you have a young man with long hair that you don't want to hold, you can use the Con Man. If he has a beard, he can use the Con Man. If your wife has curly hair and you want to accentuate the curls, she can use the Con Man. Everyone loves one product that does multiple things. And when the household can use it, you go from the small size to the big size. All right, guys, we're at the home stretch. We're done with the trimming, done with the grooming. Now it's all about product knowledge. I want to let the customer know what is the best for his beard on a daily basis. We have Con Man, which is a hair hydrator. He can use this in his hair, he can use it in his beard. But now, how much do we use is very, very important. Men tend to overuse everything, right? You give them a product, they're sticking their whole hand in the jar, and they just want to overuse everything. So your job is not only to tell them what to use, it's almost how much to use. And when I give them the direction, you have to compare it to something. I say piece size, I say dime size, I say nickel size, I say quarter size. Don't dump too much in your hand because then it's overwhelming. Then it's actually going to saturate the hair other than hydrate it. And it's also just going to waste the product. You want your customer to take this product home and it lasts. You don't want him running through this every 2 weeks because he's using it entirely too much. And if he is, he's got your moving canvas looking like a real messy, greasy head, and we don't do that. So here, Con Man, I have about a little over a dime size in between the nickel size, rub it in between my hands, and now massage it into his beard. You see his nose tingling? Yeah.
It smells good. What is that smell?
This is the Con Man. The Con Man smells outstanding, and if I have a tad bit of excess, I can now apply it into the crown as a styling agent. It'll give him a little bit of volume. You can massage it in. Gave him a shine. It doesn't have a hold, but it can help redirect the hair. And whenever applying product, always apply product to the beard first, never the hair. I'll mention it again. Always apply product to the beard first, never the hair. Because if you're applying Con Man to the beard, you can eventually apply it into the hair. But if you have pomade in your hair, if you have some type of hair product in your hair, and then you grab Con Man and put it in his beard, now you're mixing and cocktailing products that you don't want in that beard. So now that we're done with the Con Man, his beard looks healthier, looks more vibrant, and it smells outstanding. Skills, how you feel?
Like a new man.
There you go. This is what you want your customer to look like. This is what you want them to feel like. But the key is knowing what you're doing, knowing how to do it, and being confident with doing it. So after today, guys, I don't want you guys feeling nervous about beards anymore. Watch this video as many times as you need to. If you have to go back to certain areas to remind yourself, feel free to do so. But understanding where to start, where to stop, blade types, textures, and also product knowledge. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it's informative. Make sure you're following GIBS Grooming, and make sure you check us out. It's my man Skills, Danny Amorim, signing out. Thank you. Peace.